Okay, so you see a lot of surprising headlines these days, right? But this one really jumped out at me.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
Rapper YBN Nahmir,
Yeah.
you know, Rubbin Off the Paint.
Sure, I know the name.
He just announced he's bought his first McDonald's franchise.
Wait, really? McDonald's? Wow.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those moments where you think, okay, didn't see that coming.
Exactly. You immediately kind of go, okay, what's the story behind that?
Right. How did he announce it?
Well, he put it on Instagram. Pretty classic post, actually. Picture. It looks like maybe him at the place. And the caption was this timeline. He put 2024, I was on some whatever shit. 2023 clown emoji, I was on some whatever shit. 2025, I just bought my first McDonald's establishment.
Huh. So he's explicitly contrasting the years there. That clown emoji for 2023 says a lot.
Yeah. And then he kind of doubled down with a shorter version, like punched it up a bit. 2023, clownin'. 2024, coasting. 2025, just secured my first McDonald's franchise.
That's quite a statement. Using words like clownin' and coasting versus secured, it's like drawing a line, isn't it? Marking this as a really significant turn. What do you make of that stark contrast he's painting there?
It really feels like he's, consciously closing one chapter and really trying to embrace this new thing, whatever this represents for him.
Yeah, definitely feels intentional.
And the enthusiasm, it didn't stop. He followed that up, all caps. Yeah, MF, YBM Burgers, NLA heart emoji.
Okay, YBN Burgers. You can just feel the energy in that, right?
Totally.
That part's interesting too. YBN Burgers suggests he's not just like passively investing, he's thinking about putting his own stamp on it somehow.
Yeah, branding it.
Which, for you listening, makes you wonder, what does that even look like? A YBN branded McDonald's.
Huh, right. But, okay, so you see this headline, rapper buys McDonald's. And the immediate question, at least for me, is why? Like, why this specific move for a recording artist? Just a random investment, or is there, something more going on?
That's definitely the core question, isn't it? I mean, on one level, you could see it as just, smart business, diversifying.
Sure.
A lot of artists, as their careers mature, they look for ways to build something more long-term, maybe more stable than the music industry can sometimes be.
Which can be super unpredictable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And investing in a huge established franchise like McDonald's, it offers a certain kind of, let's say, built-in security. There's a system.
Okay, that makes total sense, like financially,
Yeah.
business-wise. But still, thinking about the typical rapper image, the lifestyle,
Yeah.
owning a McDonald's, it feels kind of unexpected. It's not exactly the usual glamorous next step we picture.
You're right. It doesn't quite fit that standard narrative. But maybe that's the appeal. Think about a really well-oiled machine, a business model that's proven, a system that's just there. Maybe after the chaos and the highs and lows in music, something with a more, predictable rhythm is attractive. Does that resonate at all?
It does, actually. It makes me think maybe this isn't quite as out of the blue as it seems on the surface, especially when you factor in some of the stuff YBN Nahmir has been going through recently.
Ah, okay. So there's context.
Yeah, and this is where it gets really interesting, I think.
Right, because over the past, year or two, he's actually been pretty open about some pretty big personal challenges, things that could definitely, feed into a decision like this.
Definitely. Like just last year, he shared a really serious health scare, posted right on his Instagram stories, picture from a hospital bed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know the type, oximeter on the finger, a TV in the background. And the caption was just blunt. I just really had a seizure. TFE.
Whoa. Just like that. That's incredibly raw. Seeing that vulnerability from someone so public, it's always kind of striking, isn't it? It cuts through the image. What did you feel when you saw that?
That just makes you stop, Like, okay, this is serious. And he didn't just leave it hanging there either. He gave more context later.
No.
Explained that the seizure seemed to be from basically running himself ragged, back-to-back shows pushing too hard. And he was really frank about it. Excessive drinking. He wrote, been overworking myself doing show back getting drunk every day. Deadass died and came back alive this morning.
A deadass died and came back alive. That's an intense phrasing.
Yeah.
That level of honesty about the lifestyle, the drinking, the potential consequences, it suggests a huge moment of realization, doesn't it? Like recognizing things were just not sustainable. What does that candor suggest to you about where his head might be at now?
It really feels like a massive wake-up call, like hitting a wall. And even then, in that really vulnerable spot, he reached out to his fans, said, I genuinely give a fuck about every single one of you. Thank you, FOE. And actually, earlier that day, before he explained everything, he just posted, pray for ya boy from outside the hospital.
Wow. So maintaining that connection, even while going through something terrifying, that died and came back alive bit, really sticks with you, highlighting just how serious it must have felt.
Right.
For you listening, you have to wonder, right? Does going through something like that near-death experience fundamentally shift your priorities?
It's hard to imagine it wouldn't, right? But the story, it actually goes back even further than that seizure. Because in 2023, the year before, YBN Nahmir made another really big decision.
Right.
He decided to go to rehab for addiction issues.
That's a huge step. And again, sharing that publicly,
Yeah.
that takes serious guts.
Yeah, he announced it back in October 2023. Posted something like, rehab soon, understanding your addiction and admitting to it is the first step. Pray for me on this hard journey. Again, super direct, asking for support.
Calling it a hard journey right from the start shows he knew what he was facing, but he was committing to it. What does that initial admission, just saying I need help, suggest about his mindset then?
It shows a real willingness to face it, I think. And while he didn't specify what addiction right away, he later opened up, specifically on X, about struggling with alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah, he shared quite a bit. Said, all right, y'all, I feel like it's best for me to just get this out my system. For 3 years, I've been struggling with an alcoholic addiction. He talked about how it changed him not in the right ways, push people away.
That's incredibly personal.
Yeah.
And brave to not just admit the addiction, but the impact, the damage it caused to relationships, to himself. That self-awareness is often such a critical step towards recovery, isn't it? Does that level of insight tell you something about his readiness for change back then?
It definitely seems like he was ready for something different. He even talked about trying to stop on his own, saying, I've constantly tried to slow down, stop myself from drinking, but it's not easy at all. And then he framed getting clean as a goal. Like, this year I want a new challenge, and the challenge is for me to get clean.
Framing it as a challenge, that's interesting.
Yeah. And he acknowledged how hard addiction is, saying, I never knew addiction was this hard, now it's taking a toll. Mentioned there was, a lot going on behind closed doors that I leave off the internet.
And that transparency about the struggle itself, how hard it is, that's powerful. There's so much stigma around addiction, right? When someone in the public eye shares that kind of vulnerability, it can make a huge difference. For you listening, does hearing that make someone's experience feel more relatable, maybe? Less isolated?
Absolutely. And his reasons for seeking help were just really clear, really heartfelt. He said, the only thing I want to do now in life is get help, therapy, or even rehab to feel like myself again and get my family back. And then just, I'm sorry, y'all, I slipped.
Wow. Wanting to feel like himself again, get his family back. Those are powerful motivators. And that simple, I slipped at the end. Acknowledges accountability, understands setbacks happen. It's very human.
So, okay, when you put all these pieces together, the seizure last year, the rehab decision the year before that, and now, boom, buying the McDonald's franchise, it starts to feel like this is maybe not just some random business thing after all, does it?
Exactly. It paints a much more complex picture, doesn't it? You could easily just glance at the headline, rapper buys McDonald's, and scroll past.
Yeah.
But knowing the context, these recent, very deep personal struggles,
Yeah.
this move could really signify a major shift, a new direction. What connections are you seeing now between all these events?
Well, it almost feels like maybe he's looking for a different kind of stability, something, I don't know, more grounded than the music world, which can be so intense, so unpredictable. Owning a franchise, yeah, it's work, it has demands, but it offers structure. A routine, maybe?
That's a really insightful way to put it. After facing, life-threatening health issues, battling addiction, wanting more predictability, maybe more control over the day-to-day, that makes perfect sense. This could be his way of building a new foundation. Perhaps one that prioritizes well-being differently. What kind of stability do you think a business like that offers compared to, say, waiting for the next hit song?
It's a steady operation, right? People always need food. It's not reliant on creative lightning striking. So what does this all mean for you, thinking about this? Is YBN Nahmir just swapping late nights on tour for early mornings, flipping burgers? Probably not that simple, but it definitely makes you consider the forces driving this big, kind of unconventional investment for someone like him. Maybe this McDonald's isn't just a business. Maybe it's a tangible symbol of this new chapter he's trying to write. A move towards stability, towards recovery.
And that leads to a really interesting final thought for you to chew on. In our culture, we often celebrate constant hustle, constant change, reinvention. But what really motivates someone, especially after facing serious personal adversity, to seek out something, well, established. Something with structure and routine, like a McDonald's franchise. Is it just about the money, the safe bet? Or could there be something deeper there? very human need for stability, for a different kind of purpose, maybe. It's definitely a story that makes you look past the celebrity headline and consider the human journey underneath.